It's been about 7 months since BMW launched the latest generation 3 Series, codenamed F30 in South Africa. It's an important car for BMW here, not only because it's the volume seller, but also because the car is built in Roslyn for export. For now, the 335i is the sportiest member of the 3 Series range. But the question is whether it has the spirit to match the dynamic expectations.
The proportions of the new 3 are almost perfect, with a combination of sweeping nose, short raised rear deck and wide planted stance, creating a sense of balance and of purpose. Admittedly, that extended front can look a bit exaggerated from some angles, as if the designers had to sharpen the bonnet's curve to make it fit, but it also adds some much needed character. That it is strongly reminiscent of the larger F10 generation 5 Series might please those who believe in homogeneous brand identity, but it doesn't help the new 3 to stand out from the automotive crowd, and it's the car's relative anonymity within the broader BMW fold that is one of its most serious handicaps.
But let's not get carried away here. The 3 Series is a smart expression of the current BMW design language. It looks sleek and athletic, and there's more than a bit of muscle in the way the coachwork is tautly drawn across the frame.
Short overhangs, big wheels and deep bumpers front and rear add to the effect. The interior seeks to find a similar balance between sporty flair and comfortable luxury. As this car features the sport execution, it gets a crimson vanity line that stretches the width of the dashboard.
Certainly, the cabin exudes an upmarket aura, while the driver-focused fascia is true to the BMW ethos. Between the analog dials and the LCD display, there's more at-a-glance information than most people ever need. And the iDrive control interface, which used to be quite clunky, has become intuitive, although maybe it's just that we've become more used to it.
Decent seats provide good support up front, and there's plenty of space too. Standard equipment covers all the usual must-haves, from electric everything to auto headlights and windscreen wipers, from Bluetooth and USB-equipped sound to climate control, rear-view camera and cruise control. Besides luxury, the 3 Series tradition presupposes a high degree of dynamic capability, an area in which the latest generation 3 shines particularly brightly, thanks here to the power plant under the bonnet.
One of the stars of the 335i show is the engine. It's a 3-litre straight-six with a twin-scroll turbocharger and Valvetronic variable valve control. It might not sound as meaty as those normally aspirated straight-sixes of old, but it certainly has lots of shove and grunt.
The high-tech 6-potter delivers 225 kilowatts of max power and a fat 400 newton-meters of torque between just 1,200 and 5,000 RPM. At 7.2 litres per 100 kilometers, the combined cycle fuel consumption is remarkable, and this 8-speed auto version is more economical than the manual.
But who cares about fuel consumption in a car costing more than half a bar and that feels eager from the very first turn of the wheel? BMW's reputation for creating driving machines is done full justice here, and the 335i is hard to fault in dynamic terms.
Don't believe those critics who've described the new 3 as anodyne or uninvolving. This 335i is anything but. The 0 to 100 dash is completed in under 7 seconds, while top speed is 250 kilometers an hour.
But the real dynamic talents of the 335i are centered around a rigid and lightweight chassis, a finely tuned suspension, and something BMW calls the driving experience control, which allows one to configure the vehicle to suit personal preference or, of course, prevailing driving conditions.
Like the larger 5, the new 3's limits lie well beyond the capabilities of most drivers, so it demands to be driven with a certain amount of intent to reveal its true capabilities. But those prepared to press on will discover a thoroughly entertaining, invigorating sedan with exceptional grip and composure.
The new 335i is the most technically advanced and most polished expression of the mainstream 3 Series lineage to date. It's almost indecently rapid, very well equipped and very sophisticated, but somehow it lacks the presence of its predecessors.
It's that lack of individual character that is the biggest threat to the new 3's success, but those prepared to drive it with gusto will never want to let go of that steering wheel again. One of the best straight-six engines in the business powers one of the best derivatives in the new Gen 3 Series lineup. The quick-shift auto box adds further appeal. The The result is a swift, composed and desirable premium sedan, but it's not as distinctive as previous 3s and must have extras up the price tag.